Who is this? Oh, it's me, Chris Killian with Comicbook.com, and I'm at 90s Con in Hartford, Connecticut, reminiscing about the good old days, where the TV show intros were cheesier, the celebs were cheerier, and I don't know, maybe it's just the nostalgia talking, but everything seemed a little bit brighter. Fans have gathered from all over the country to relive their childhoods this weekend, which is pretty much what I do every day. And if you couldn't make it out, no worries. Throw out your cell phone and come with me to 90s Con. So what's one 90s trend that you absolutely hated and you hope it never comes back?
One 90s trend that oh man. Ooh.
The neon. It's a little hard to think about.
Multicolored clothing.
Squiggle triangle coming at you, 3D. I feel like everyone's shirt is gonna poke me in the eye.
That was like the last of the golden years. So like to me, like the 90s were just awesome.
Was it 90s like the jellies? Like jelly? No.
Jinko jeans.
I wore them. I was a big raver kid. Of course, Jinko jeans were the best. And by the way, they're back.
Yeah. The oversized clothes. The really so baggy's kind of cool, but overly sized, where it looks like we're parachuting. If we jumped off a building, we would float down.
I'm still upset with myself for that pair of overalls I bought.
The sweaters men wore and the big, the boxy big blazers.
Like the big suits?
Yeah, and the big suits and
What about big suit jackets?
Who doesn't love a big suit jacket with the big square shoulders and all the way down to the middle of your thigh? Big suit jackets. Hate them.
Oh my word, maybe ripped jeans.
The ripped jeans thing where like your knees were fully exposed, I feel like your knees got cold a lot.
90s trend, big giant hair.
Like the frosted tips thing, that's kind of one of those things that it's like, yeah, that one could probably stay away a little bit.
I'm gonna really upset a lot of people, but I didn't like the clippies, those little clips. I didn't know.
You didn't upset me.
You'd have just all these like mop top looking, not like the Beatles mop top, but like the weird stringy mop tops with like the frosted tip stuff. And I mean, my hair, I would never probably do that again.
That's too bad.
All the 90s stuff was great, man. Yeah. Oh wait. Well, the old cell phones, but they're gone anyway.
Those are never coming back.
Too big. You can put it in your pocket and stuff like that.
There are so many people here that are excited to meet you. Over the course of your career, who have you met that you were the most excited to, you were just starstruck by?
I was very starstruck when I met Madonna. I was actually in a club for a friend's birthday party, and she was dancing there, and she stepped on my foot. She didn't even know she did, but I was like, oh my God, Madonna stepped on my foot. Should I even deal with that? I don't care. I was in pain, but it did not matter because it was Madonna.
There's been a few, but I think one that stands out is I got to meet Robert De Niro once, and I got to audition with him, and I thought to me, he was, such a remarkable, exciting actor. I was like, holy schmoly, I can't believe I just met Robert De Niro. That's so dope.
That's amazing. Can you do Robert De Niro face?
No, I can't. I
Just
suck at it. I can try, but I
think you can do it.
Oh man, I get excited about everybody. Mark Summers is here. Did you ever watch Double Dare?
Oh, I've already talked to Mark. He's amazing.
It was a physical challenge just to talk to him. If you watch the show, you get it. No, I love Mark Summers. Got excited to see him. I saw Christopher Lloyd here last year. He was sitting in the DeLorean, and we got a picture with him. So that was
that's incredible.
Life-changing, yeah.
Jason Marsden and Omri Katz were literally looking at me like, Vanessa, you're not speaking, talk. And I just could not believe I was taking a picture with him inside the DeLorean, and I made them do it with me.
I actually saw that picture, and I was overwhelmed with jealousy.
I know.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I heard through the grapevine that you were high during a lot of the filming of Hocus Pocus. What exactly are you up to these days?
Still getting high, working on a cannabis brand, trying my hardest to get there. It's a lot of complicated, crazy things that we have to do to get there. It's called the Merry Danksters. And you can help support us by going on our website and buying some merch and Yeah, spreading the word.
Obviously, you're here for Hocus Pocus, but we know that I love a Goofy movie more than
Yes, you
anything.
do.
I love Goofy movie. It made me cry. Disney's bringing all these things back. What are the chances we're going to finish out the trilogy? We're going to get a proper third Goofy movie. And, Max is maybe a dad now. Goofy's a grandpa.
It's a great idea. You got to just send an email to Uncle Disney at uncledisney@disney.com. Pitch that idea, and maybe someone will pick it up. I don't know.
I think I might have some contacts.
Well, please do. Mention my name.
Let's pitch it together.
Excellent, because otherwise they might replace me with Chris Pratt.
No, we're not letting that happen. We're not going to let that happen.
I'd like to hear him a yuck. I'd like to hear that, Chris Pratt. You've been called out, Chris Pratt.
What are the chances that we're going to see a revival of Erie, Indiana?
Everybody's putting it out in the ethos right now because like everybody's coming up to me like, what do you think about a new Erie, Indiana? You're in it, new whatever, remake something. I'm like, it's such a possibility. Just all you need is that writing was so good, you can remake it, which is today's effects and today's good stuff. So I'm just going to go on the 50-50 for that.
What's one question that you always get asked when you come to these cons that you hope nobody ever asks again?
Oh my gosh. The most common question that I always get asked is, what was it like to play the mean girl? And was it fun? Which obviously the answer is yeah.
So much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to go to work every single day, say really mean things, just be horrible, and then they say cut and it's the end of the day and you're all friends and you go to dinner.
And then you get it out of your system, so I imagine that it makes it so nice to be able to just get all that.
You get all the aggression.
Venomous.
Exactly. You get it all out and then you go back to your real life. But it is an absolute blast. I never regret playing the mean girl.
I get asked a lot how many cats played Salem, and I think it was 13.
Is that right?
There were a lot of cats. One could wear clothes, one could climb a ladder, one was good at, making its mouth move. Like that, each cat had its own specific thing.
So these are puppet cats.
No, the real ones. Yeah.
The real cat that was good at moving his mouth.
Good at they'd put some food in there and the cat would
Over the course of your career, who's somebody that you've met that you were really excited to meet and you were the most starstruck by?
Oh my gosh, I'm starstruck by everyone to some degree because I know how hard it is to do what we do, and so there are so many, but I've always really, really been enamored of what Brad and George Clooney and Tom have done with their lives.
Yeah,
they're really good movie stars.
Well, that's what I loved about our show is all the guest stars came from shows that I grew up watching. I mean, we had half the cast of Cheers was on. We had Henry Winkler, the Fonz, was directing a bunch. Potsy, Anson Williams, he directed a bunch. The Violent Femmes, I was a kid in a candy store.
Is it true that Henry Winkler's one of the nicest guys in Hollywood?
I ran into him at an airport 3 or 4 years after the show, and he came up to me and said, "Nate, how are you?" and gave me a big hug, and I was shocked that he even remembered my name.
So awesome.
I gotta say, being young in the 90s and working on our show, we had so many incredible guest stars that came through that we got to meet. The Violent Femmes were on an episode, and all of my scenes were actually with them for that episode, and I was so starstruck. And even and the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, back in the day, I loved all of them so much. So at work, I got to meet them.
What's your Pavlovian response these days when you hear the theme song to Sabrina?
I've seen 2 episodes. Really? I watched...
Your whole life?
Yeah. I watched the first one we ever did because Melissa had a party and had us all watch it. And I watched the first one she ever directed because she had a party and had us all watch it. So the theme song doesn't
affect you at all.
My mind.
Sabrina or Clarissa?
Sabrina.
Clarissa or Sabrina?
Sabrina.
Sabrina.
That feels right. Binks or Salem?
Binks.
That's right. Binks all the way, Jason. Binks.
Yes, 100%.
Binks or Salem?
Salem, of course.
Salem or Binks?
Binks, because Jason's my boy.
Jason's my boy. Binks.
And Sean Murray too. Come on. Yeah, screw you, Salem.
Salem, my guy.
Even though Jason Morrison is just down there, just a few.
Yeah, no, Salem, my guy.
Binks or Salem?
Salem.
Not biased at all.
Not biased at all.
Binks or Salem?
Binks all the way. Sorry, Salem.
All the way. Sorry, Salem.
Sorry, that fake cat. I was a real cat. Yes, saving children. What's he doing? Doing sarcastic quips every half hour? No.
Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
NSYNC. Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC.
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 Don't do that, because he's right there, man. He's back sync.
Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
What do you think?
Backstreet Boys or NSYNC?
98 degrees.
Both.
Backstreet Boys.
No, man, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, not doing it. Not picking a side.
I've had them both.
Both's a good answer.
Yes, okay.
Pogs or Beanie Babies?
Oh, Pogs.
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
What?
Pogs or Beanie?
I like Beanie Babies, I guess.
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies, kind of don't know what a pog is.
That's fair.
Beanie Babies.
Windbreaker or MC Hammer Pants?
I
gave you a worse choice than the Windbreaker.
I wore them MC Hammer Pants.
Dude, that's hard because I'm such a big MC Hammer fan, but I love a good windbreaker.
Windbreaker.
Oh, Windbreaker.
Windbreaker.
Hammer pants. They got to be Zubas too. They got to be this. They got to be particular to your football colored.
Definitely not MC Hammer Pants. Hammer Pants.
Snapple or Fruitopia?
Snapple.
I gotta try Fruitopia, but who doesn't love Snapple?
I don't think you can try Fruitopia anymore.
Well, okay, well, that's the reason.
Snapple.
Snapple.
Fruitopia was the bomb.
Right?
Wait a minute. Yeah, Fruitopia.
Snapple.
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 Neither.
Neither. Water. Drink your water, people.
Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Oh, Nirvana.
I'll go with Nirvana.
Good.
Ooh, that's tough, Nirvana.
Nirvana. No, I can't choose again. Pearl Jam. Sorry. Nirvana. Sorry. Pearl Jam. All right.
Nirvana or Pearl Jam?
Nirvana.
Oh, that was fast. I'm sorry, Eddie.
Nirvana.
Pearl Jam.
Nirvana.
Wow. Pearl Jam. Really? Nirvana.
I don't know. I kind of like Pearl Jam, but I respect your answer.
Me too, but Hawkeye and Thor are both Avengers. They're not equal.
I don't know. I both. Can I do that?
I think you can do that.
I mean Nirvana, I guess, but then Pearl Jam.
For longevity, Pearl Jam. In the moment in the 90s, it was Nirvana. I wore Converse All-Star 1-Stars specifically because of Kurt Cobain. So.
I think that's a good answer. Urkel or Screech?
Urkel.
Urkel.
Screech.
Urkel. All day. What up, Jaleel?
Urkel.
Ooh, Urkel.
You have to. You're wearing Urkel. You're wearing it right now. You got to do
Urkel. You know, man.
Urkel's my guy too. I got you.
Screech, because Dustin was a friend of mine. But I did see Urkel on the 101 freeway once, and my friend was like, "What's up?" And he's like,
That's the first one that's a real question. Urkel.
Urkel.
Did I do that?
Get them both together, and that's my ideal Friday night.
Jerry Springer or Geraldo?
I'm from Chicago, so Jerry.
Jerry Springer or Geraldo?
Springer.
Jerry Springer.
Geraldo.
Neither.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'll go with Geraldo. I like Geraldo a little better.
Ooh, dang, Jerry Springer.
Ooh, Jerry. Jerry was ruthless. That's why.
Jerry Springer or Geraldo Rivera?
Oh, Jerry. Absolutely. He was way more fun.
Neither.
Nope.
If I had to pick one, I'd hang out with Jerry Springer.
Well, Springer's a friend of mine, so, definitely Jerry.
You were Springer friends?
We're friends. I did an episode of the Jerry Springer Show in year one where we played Double Dare, and I pied Jerry at the end of the show. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who are here excited to see you throughout the course of your career. Who's somebody that you met that you were starstruck by and you were the most excited to meet?
Jerry Lawler, the professional wrestler.
I know who Jerry Lawler is. He's my hero.
Yeah, man. I was sitting next to him, and he put the crown on the table, and I kind of lost it and blubbered a little bit.
I'm going to say probably Steven Spielberg. When we opened up the Nickelodeon studios, I got to slime him. And I was a little nervous about that whole situation, but he couldn't have been a nicer guy. He was really fun.
This is so not helpful to anyone here, but I once saw Patti LuPone at the newsstand near where I used to live. This is so many years ago. And I always, I was already working and acting and meeting all the people. I saw her and I was like such a theater nerd. And I was like, Miss Lupone, I just want to say hi to you. And then and Ben said, my name is Lori Beth. And then she like, in her quacky voice when she left goes, bye, Lori Beth. And I was like, oh, she said my name.
Pete and Pete had a lot of cool guest stars. Iggy Pop, that was a pretty mind-blowing experience. Chris Elliott was on the show. Chris Elliott was a very, one of my favorite comedians.
Cabin Boy is underrated.
So underrated. What a great film.
Man, the whole Saved by the Bell cast, I watched them when I was younger. Wonder Years, I got to see all of them. You know what I mean? So it's like seeing everybody that I watched on television. It's super awesome, man. Yeah.
Really, it is. What I'm noticing here is it is about childhood for a lot of people. It's sort of about the media figures from your childhood that were impactful for you. To see them again is a special kind of joy, I guess. But everyone is so nice and so gracious, and these things are really a lot of fun, like a lot of fun.
How often when you come to these cons, do you ever run into former contestants on the show?
Well, this is the first time I've ever been to a con.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never done one of these before. Yes, I've run into several people here who were at What Would You Do episodes down in Orlando or appeared on the live shows that we did around the country. They have paraphernalia from the Nickelodeon days that I've never seen that they've asked me to sign, so it's been kind of fun.
We were all very excited about the Double Dare revival, but it sort of got, put on hold because of 2020 and everything. Has there been any updates or talks about bringing that back again?
I was told they will never ever do it again. Yes, but there are over 300 episodes on Paramount Plus of Double Dare, so you can see me 24/7, and apparently a lot of people do because the checks are pretty good.
Money talks, so if enough people go in and watch it, maybe they'll bring it back, you know what I mean? Now, what's your Pavlovian response to hearing the All That theme song?
That is fun and that I like. I thought you were going to ask my Pavlovian response to hearing the secret slime action sound effect, which is used everywhere and which gives me hunched shoulders, and then I look up every time. And now it's a ringtone that people use all the time.
Now, something I wanted to bring up personally that I was excited to ask you about. I talked to Justin Long not too long ago. He mentioned that Dodgeball 2 has been discussed and that they're just waiting on Ben Stiller. If by some chance Dodgeball 2 kicks off and they want to bring you back in for that, would you show up for that?
I would definitely show up for that. I got to work with great people and basically sit on Justin Long's face. So you don't say no, and it's possible to create magic twice.
Yeah, I really like Justin, so I wouldn't say no to that either.
Exactly. It was a really fun, it was just like a really great experience too.
What's the one question that you always get that you hope nobody ever asks ever again?
Was the tattoo real? I was 7 years old. Of course it's not real. What's going on with you?
Now, I've been personally a big fan of seeing you pop up in GTA 5. Is there any chance Jimmy's going to show up in 6?
Well, they brought me back for the casino heist, the DLC.
Which I played.
Well, you did play? Yeah.
You play it. I played it.
Running around his video game arcade. Yeah. What a crappy bunch of video games that was.
What about it? GTA 6? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I hear it drops tomorrow.
Wow, that's a scoop right there. Dude, first off, Good Burger 2. Yeah. That's so awesome, man. We're all so excited. Have you seen the script or anything for that yet?
Of course, man. It's been a whole process, right? We wanted to make sure that the script is really ready. We wanted to make sure it's going to, cater to the 90s fans and then also our new fans, the kids that love it now. So, yeah, man, it's going to be great, man.
Obviously, you're most well known for Good Burger and for Kenan and Kel and for all that, but what's one project that you feel like is a little underappreciated and you wish more people would check out, and why is it Mystery Men?
Oh, man, well, shout out to Mystery Men. Shout out to Ben Stiller, Hank Azaria, Janine Garofalo. Such a great film. People want 2 for that, too. Yeah,
I want it. I've asked Hank Azaria about it, so.
Yeah, I got a fun idea for that one, too. So, yeah, we're going to be talking to Ben about that. I got to talk to him.
Can you tease me the idea a little bit?
Oh, I can't, but let's just say origin story, because, we were the first, superhero team up before the Avengers and all that started doing that. So yeah, man,
You guys are before your time.
Yeah, man.
I've had people say to me that they believe that you're the Mr. Rogers of our generation. Is that like a high responsibility for you?
That is an impossible bar for any human being to live up to. Fred Rogers was an avatar of the Buddha and unique among men and women on Earth, and I am not like Mr. Rogers. I am a very, very normal person with some wonderful qualities and flaws, just like everyone else. And while I recognize what a high compliment that is, and I am full of gratitude that someone would even say that, I take every opportunity I can to push back on that.
I believe that based on how gracious your answer just was, I feel like you're living up to it.
Oh, I don't know, man. He really, I mean, Blue's Clues was based on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It's an homage to that show. And that was a ministry that he was doing. And what he did really transcended children's television. It transcended entertainment. And I think he should be like on a commemorative coin or on our money or something, because he was a remarkable being.
Yeah, so I loved X-Men animated series as a kid so much. Banger theme song. I still hear Cal Dodd to this day as the voice of Wolverine when I read the comic books. He just nailed it. First things first, what brings you to 90s Con?
People were telling us that there were millions of fans out there, but we had no sense of it. It was kind of our day job. If we do a book, then that's something we could take to cons. And so we started 6-7 years ago going to cons with the first book, and found this whole other world out there that still watches the show, not just remembers the show, but still watches the show, which is incredibly gratifying.
Guilty, you know.
For us to have been a part of something like that just makes my heart sing, and for us to be able to interact with people and hear and talk to you.
Are you guys getting to do anything with the X-Men 97 reboot?
We are.
Funny you should ask. Eric and Larry Houston and I, the three of us, have been invited on board as consulting producers for X-Men 97. They have shown us a lot of stuff, and we are very excited.
It's all being made by this massive crew of a couple hundred 30-somethings that grew up on the show. And loved the show, and they just were nice enough to tell their bosses, well, Eric and Julia and Larry are available. We really should attach them, not as the motivating forces. We're not writing the scripts, but the way they put it was they wanted us to be their first audience.
And that's been thrilling.
It's been a lot of fun.
And how close is it to what the original show was?
We can tell you it's a whole brave new world now. It's 2023. They have the luxury of computer animation drawing.
They're working to make it look as similar as humanly possible. They want you to feel it's a continuation of the show, not a rethinking. It's a month or two later, and here's the next episode.
Yeah.
So it's the same group of people, it's the same style, the same costumes, everything about it. It's just 30 years newer tech.
It's exciting. It's very exciting.
I'm so excited for this show. It's literally the thing that I'm looking forward to most when Marvel announced everything. X-Men 97 was the thing that I was like, oh my God, I can't wait.
And we were thrilled that in the last 24 hours, they've officially ordered season 2. So.
Yeah, they're so high. We can't talk about what's in the first season, but they're so high on the stories in the first season that they've okayed a second one.
Shout out to Bo DeMaio, who's the fellow in charge of all of that, who knows the X-Men animated series chapter and verse.
Knows it better than we do.
Is an amazing writer and showrunner, and he's just a great guy.
I know you guys are having a dance around. You can't talk about a lot of it, but are there any like classic comic book storylines that weren't covered in the first iteration of the show that you were excited to see?
We can't talk about any of that, so next question.
Yeah.
But the fact that we are visiting these characters again is that's the thrill for me.
And to give you a sense of it, Bo and his staff are more versed in all 60 years of the book than I and my main writers ever were. So you can be sure that there's going to be more detail, more references, more shout-outs to individual books or individual series of books than we even did in our series.
Here we are 25 years later. What's your Pavlovian response to hearing the animated series theme song these days?
Oh, it just makes my heart sing, and I want to give a shout out to Ron Wasserman, the original composer, who did that, and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That man is the earworm for a generation, am I right?
We've each had it as our phone our phone ring.
When he calls me, that's the ringtone.
You guys have written for Young Hercules starring Ryan Gosling. I know you don't actually know, but what are the chances that Ryan Gosling might return just to be middle-aged Hercules?
Even if he doesn't, I'll write that, okay? I will write that. I'll write it for you, Ryan.
It was 50 stories that they wanted.
For one season, yeah.
And there's this kid that's just turning 18. He's down in New Zealand where they shot Hercules and Xena, and now they're shooting Young Hercules. And he is carrying every episode. They shot 2 stories a week for 30 weeks, and he just nailed it. And was the nicest guy.
And you could tell even then he had it.
From the producer, we saw some footage of other people that were trying out for the role, and some of them were much bulkier because Ryan was like 6'1", 135. Yeah. When he did that, he was very skinny. And they said, "Oh my God, what are we going to do?" They put him in bulky clothing, and they did a little
airbrushing muscles kind of thing.
But they just kept on coming back to him and saying, "He is so good.
He's such a good
The camera loves him so much. He's so much that they had to go with him."
It was a good choice, Ryan Gosling over Kevin Sorbo. I'm have to say, if I got to watch one of them, I'll pick Ryan.
I'll say that too. Yeah.
And for all the women friends out there, she got to hug him twice.
With consent. He came over for a con as a very young man.
Can I hug you as sort of like, oh.
Shook the hand.
Look, it's like, right. Yeah, I feel like I can still smell Ryan on you.
There you go.
I'm the Blanche.
I'm the Dorothy.
And I'm the Rose. And we're the Golden Gays. And this is Token Sophia.
Hi, I'm Token Sophia. How are you doing, guys?
I wanted to sing this for you.
Where in the world is
Sophia Petrillo?
Wow, that harmonizing is on point. I got it. Can I try it? Can I try it with you guys?
Right.
Okay. I tried to hit it like higher, and for my first try, that was pretty solid. So how long have you guys been doing this?
About 6 years. Well, we've been here for about an hour, but we've been doing this act for about 6 years.
So where are you touring? You're doing this?
All over the country. After this weekend, we're closing out the Golden Girls Pop-Up Kitchen in New York City, and then from there we'll be at Golden Con in Chicago, and then we'll be on the Golden Fans at Sea cruise with Flip Phone Events.
That's so amazing. That's a lot of fun. Any chance you're going to come to Tennessee anytime soon?
Well, we were in Chattanooga earlier this year, and I heard tell maybe there's a reason for us to revisit Tennessee, perhaps in April.
I would love it, and I'm going to bring my son.
Yes, you should. Our shows are family friendly.
Because drag is for everybody.
Clearly, I'm rocking it right now. It's going great. A lot of people here who are famous for catchphrases, you being one of them. If you had to pick one, what's your favorite 90s catchphrase?
Oh, come on now. Can't touch this. Was that 90s?
Can't touch this.
Jodie Sweetin saying, "How rude" is pretty good.
How rude. Dave Coulier's here. Cut it out.
Word up.
Word up's a good one. I thought you were just going to go as if, but you're not that biased. I appreciate that.
As if.
As if.
What's your favorite 90s catchphrase?
Oh my gosh. I have no idea.
I don't know any 90s catchphrases. Winnie Cooper didn't have any catchphrases. Well, she had, "Hi, Kevin." Hi, Kevin.
Gotta say Good Burger, because Good Burger 2 is on the way.
I heard.
So Good
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. So that's my favorite right there.
Can I take your order?
Jenna Green. Ew.
There's a newer show that kind of, I don't want to say they stole it, but
Ew, David.
that was Libby first. Ew.
I'll be back. Oh, that's from the 90s, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe.
I'll be back.
There was some run over there.
I'll be back.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Dude, yeah.
Because look, you're my favorite NSYNC member.
I am my favorite one too.
It makes sense.
I used to have posters of myself on the walls. It was crazy.
Yeah.
People thought I was egotistical, but I'm like, well, I'm definitely the cutest.
You're the best. Especially back in the hair.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that here.